Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. O.P. Verma from Himachal Pradesh University, Shimla. Today we are going to talk on module Techniques of Developing Human Values from paper Human Values and Indian Ethos. After studying this module, you will be able to understand meaning and features of human values, need of human values, sources of human values, ethical approaches of human values. Introduction. Several people have many opinions and preconceived notions in the form of values and attitudes. They often influence our behavior. We have values about work, equality, authority, self-respect, freedom, honesty, obedience, and other matters. These human values provide the basic foundation for understanding a person's personality, perceptions, and attitude. No doubt, values not only help in achieving success but also make success more enduring and lasting, irrespective of individual, community, organization, or country. Meaning of values. Edward Springer defines the values as the constellation of likes, dislikes, viewpoints, inner inclination, rational and irrational judgments, prejudices, and association pattern that determines a person's view of the world. The connotation of the term value is the quality of anything that renders it desirable, of something that is prized, held in respect of, esteemed. The dominant values give meaning to a man's life, making them in center around which behavior revolves, make up the type of person he will be. According to Alport, value is a belief upon which a man acts by preferences. In fact, authors found it very difficult to put the term on firm conceptual footing. Value describes a thing's worth, desirability, usefulness, or qualities which influence these judgments. Economists refer value to the purchasing of goods or services to acquire something else. In general, value connotes the principles or standards that people use, individually or collectively, to make judgments about what's important or valuable in their lives. According to the Oxford Dictionary, value means worth. The Encyclopedia of Social Sciences refers to values as interest, pleasures, likes, preferences, duties, moral obligations, desires, wants, needs, and many other modalities of social orientation. In other words, value represents basic conviction or enduring belief that a specific mode of conduct or end state of existence is personally or socially preferable to an opposite or converse mode of conduct or end state of existence. Features of values. Values are the core of personality and are a powerful force affecting behavior. Values contain a judgmental element in that they carry an individual's ideas as to what's right or desirable. Values have both content and intensity attributes. The content attribute indicates that a mode of conduct or end state of existence is important. The intensity attribute specifies how important it is. Values are not fixed, but they change over time. Many values are relatively stable and enduring. This is because of the way in which they are originally learned. All of us have a hierarchy of values that forms our value system, but everyone does not hold the same values. Need for human values. Persistence of classes, racism, casteism, and discrimination of various types. A decline in the strength and integrity of the family, an alarming increase in separation, divorce, and conflicts. A decline in respect for parents, teachers, and other civil and legal authorities. Increase in the aggressive and destructive behavior in the family, schools, streets, playfield, and entertainment centers. Complete lack of purpose and direction pervading today's youth, resulting in unsatisfactory academic performance and other social evils, an increasing destruction of animal and plant life and the pollution of environment, a growing desire for sense objects leading to exploitation of one section of society by another, increasing materialism, cutthroat competition, duplication and privacy, spiraling prices, mounting cost of living, high ambitions, carry on philosophy, search for quick results, improper conduct being equated with dynamism, ethical muteness, vicious cycle of grease payments, easy and shortcut oriented lifestyle, mounting restlessness and self helplessness, spreading suicidal heroism instinct, political corruption, access to more than sufficient money, technology, and information. Culture. Culture is the pursuit of perfection in every walk of life. It is sweetness and light. The purity of heart, word, and deed makes a cultured man. Our heart should cultivate feelings like compassion, gratitude, and friendliness. Our intellect should cultivate knowledge and attain wisdom. Our hands should serve all and do well to all. Thus, culture, in a sense, consists of bad and hands help ever and hurt never. There are some core values which cut across the barriers of time and place. They are cherished universally. These core values may be termed as truth, righteousness, peace, love, and non-violence. Under these core universal values, one may include such other sub-values as reverence for life, reverence for family, open-mindedness, spirit of tolerance, sympathy, kindness, generosity, compassion, and so on. The world is a rich mosaic of cultures. Each particular culture cherishes some unique values. To be a complete human being, one should identify such values and make a collection of them to assimilate, internalize, and practice them. Cultural values are complex and primarily intrinsic. The fundamental values of a society developed over time into ideologies or worldviews, including ideas about reality, human nature, and purpose, etc. Although often justified by argument, these values are often carried in rituals, customs, or narratives that are repeated and taken for granted. These values are highly resistant to change because they are seen as absolute. Religion. Etymologically, the word religion is composed of religion, which is Greek terminology, signifies something that binds. Religion binds human beings together. In actual practice, religion prescribes duties of man towards his fellow human beings and towards God. Religion postulates a system of faith in superhuman power, a divine power, an ultimate reality named as God. Religion further leads man to his ultimate goal, which one may call as perfection or self-realization or, or beatitude or liberation. Any religion has 5 functional aspects, which are: number 1, the life and personality of its founder and its seers, saints, and sages. Number 2, metaphysics and cosmology. Number 3, the ethics. Number 4, rituals. Number 5, the mysticism. When we look to religion as a source of values, we mainly draw upon its 2 function aspects. These are the life and personality of its founder and its seers, saints, and sages. Its ethics. Similarly, the ethical principles are common to all religions. All religions advocate truth, righteousness, peace, love, and reverence for all life. All the religions emphasize self control, prayer, devotion to God, and love for all living beings. Sources of human values. Values are believed to be hereditary and genetically determined, say about 40%, and rest is environment affected. Constitution. The constitution of a country is a basic source of deriving values which are to be included in educational institutions. Almost all the existing constitutions of various countries of world highlight the values of democracy, equality, liberty, and world peace. These are the values which find a place of pride in the United Nations Charter. The values enshrined in the Constitution of India are stated in its preamble. We, the people of India, have solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign democratic republic and to secure all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of the thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation. Ethical approaches or theories. In ethics, normative theories propose some principle or principles for distinguishing right actions from wrong actions. These theories can, for convenience, be divided into two kinds: consequentialist and non-consequentialist. According to consequentialist theories, the moral rightness of an action is determined solely by its results. By contrast, non-consequentialist theories contend that right and wrong are determined by more than the likely consequences of an action. Non-consequentialists do not necessarily deny that consequences are morally significant, but they believe that other factors are also relevant to the moral assessment of an action. The following are the 5 approaches or theories of ethics. The first, the utilitarian approach. Jenny Bentham, considered as the founder of traditional utilitarian approach. An action is right from an ethical point of view if and only if the sum total of utilities produced by that act is greater than the sum total of utilities produced by any other act the agent could have performed in its place. Deontological approach. Other philosophers and ethicists suggest that the ethical action is one that best protects and respect the moral rights of those affected. This approach starts from the belief that humans have a dignity based on their human nature, per se, on their ability to choose freely what they do with their lives. The third approach is egalitarianism approach, fairness and justice and equality approach. According to this approach, all benefits and burdens should be distributed by the following formula. Every person should be given exactly equal share of society's or a group's benefits and burdens. The fourth approach is common good approach. The life in community is good in itself and our actions should contribute to that life. This approach suggests that the interlocking relationships of society are the basis of ethical reasoning and that respect and compassion for all others, especially the vulnerable, are requirements of such reasoning. Fifth approach is the virtue approach. A very ancient approach to ethics is that ethical actions ought to be consistent with certain ideal virtues that provide for the full development of our humanity. These virtues are dispositions and habits that enable us to act according to highest potential of our character. And on behalf of attribute values like truth, beauty, honesty, courage, compassion, generosity, tolerance, love, fidelity, integrity, fairness, self-control, and prudence, which are all examples of virtues. Summary. Several people have many opinions and preconceived notions in the form of values and attitudes. They often influence our behavior. We have values about work, equality, authority, self-respect, freedom, honesty, obedience, and other matters. These human values provide the basic foundation for understanding a person's personality, perceptions, and attitude. Values have both content and intensity attributes. The content attribute indicates that a mode of conduct or end state of existence is important. The intensity attribute specifies how important it is. In spite of the ever-growing wonders of science and technology, we are living in a turbulent and worried world under the dark shadow of war and annihilation. Our growing progress in controlling our material world has not been matched by similar advance in human character and virtues. Values are believed to be hereditary and genetically determined, say about 40%, and rest environment affected. The three major sources are culture, religion, and constitution. Culture is the pursuit of perfection in every walk of life. It is sweetness and light. The purity of heart, word, and deed makes a cultured man. Our heart should cultivate feelings like compassion, gratitude, and friendliness. Our intellect should cultivate knowledge and attain wisdom. Our hands should serve all and do well to all. Thus, culture, in a sense, consists of bad and hands which help ever and hurt never. There are some core values which cut across the barriers of time and place. They are cherished universally. Religions binds human beings together. In actual practice, religion prescribes duties of man towards his fellow human beings and towards God. Religion postulates a system of faith in superhuman power or divine power, an ultimate reality named as God. Religion further leads man to his ultimate goal, which one may call as perfection or self-realization or beatitude or liberation. The constitution of a country is a basic source of deriving values which are to be included in educational institutions. Almost all the existing constitutions of various countries of world highlight the values of democracy, equality, liberty, and world peace. In ethics, normative theories propose some principle or principles for distinguishing right actions from wrong actions. These theories can, for convenience, be divided into two kinds: consequentialistic and non-consequentialist. According to consequentialist theories, the moral rightness of an action is determined solely by its results. If its consequences are good, then the act is right. If they are bad, the act is wrong. By contrast, non-consequentialist or deontological theories contend that right and wrong are determined by more than the likely consequences of an action. Non-consequentialists do not necessarily deny that consequences are morally significant, but they believe that other factors are also relevant to the moral assessment of an action. The theories, philosophies are ideal moral perspectives that provide individuals with abstract principles for guiding their social existence. Thank you.